as we have progressed, we've understood how to segment the market that we address. Initially, our understanding of the market was very driven by how Fenalco understood its market. Fenalco understood its market, or understands its market, as a vertical, or with a vertical view. So, mattresses, funeral parlors, education, tires and auto parts. That view was the traditional view, and it's a valuable view, by the way, because it's a definition that structures the way we talk to the merchant. It's the axis, the way we have a channel to the merchant. But as we have progressed, we've understood that we should segment not by vertical, but by type of purchase. Very interesting. By type of purchase. What is type of purchase? And I'll just kind of read some of these titles. Type of purchase number one, planned purchase. Oh, by the way, let me go back. All these purchases are mid to high ticket items. So we mentioned over $1,000 on average. Over $300 on average, $1,000. So all are mid to high ticket items or purchases for the Colombian standards. And so the first, call it segment, that today we deal with and how we define the market today is planned purchase, mid to high ticket. People have thought about this. It's not a surprise. It's something that they want. It's a high ticket, so we kind of need to think about it. I'm fine by getting some, call it advisory by either the salesperson or by my cousin that knows about whatever I'm buying. So a friend that knows about. So it's a planned and consulted purchase. That's one segment. Things like mattresses fit very well there, and some of the elements of home improvement fit very well there, for example. But then there's the unexpected purchase, mid to high ticket. Unexpected, I crashed. Oops, someone got sick in my family. The heater broke, the water heater broke. And that's a $2,000 purchase, or a $1,000 purchase. So unexpected, was not planned in my cash flow, so it's kind of messed me up a bit. So I think a different way. I buy that type of purchase, a different type of purchase when compared to the planned purchase. So I mentioned auto repairs or unexpected home repairs fit very well in that category. Then we have a third segment where we have a lot of experience, which is services that have a particular term that are rendered in a particular time frame, 6 months, in some cases 12 months, 34 months. So things like dentistry, fixing your teeth is something that is going to take time. It's going to be many visits to a dental clinic. It's going to be expensive, and why not provide a credit option that is aligned to whatever the time frame is for what is being fixed in my mouth. Or, very important, education. Education is provided in Colombia, or university education is provided in Colombia, and people basically pay on a semester basis, not on an annual basis. So why not provide a payment plan that is aligned to the semester, 6-month payment plan? So that is another very structured credit product that we provide based on the type of service that's being rendered. So I mentioned dentistry, I mentioned education, where we have deep presence, and there's a lot of history that we have captured based on those two verticals. But then you have another couple of categories that have to do with work. So first one, we call it productive goods. So for example, and this is kind of our star segment, truck drivers need to buy tires and tires wear and tear in 8 or 12 months. So why don't we provide a loan for 8 months for a truck driver that's purchasing tires? And by the way, let's remind the truck driver in month 7 that you're almost due to buy your next set of tires. So interesting. Or things like power tools, drills. Someone that needs to go out and work, and these are things that basically also wear and tear, but amortize over time. Why don't we provide a loan that's aligned to the life of that particular tool? Interesting. So it could be 12 months, it could be 24 months, depending on the tool. But the point that's important here in number 4, productive goods, is that whomever is taking this loan is actually paying that loan back with what they are earning with the product that they bought. So very interesting. So it has a very different type of value for that purchaser or that credit holder than some of the other cases. And then you have number 5, which is different in terms of, especially the terms. These, we call that recurrent supplies. So you have a builder that needs to buy something at a hardware store, whatever, for a particular project that they're working in. They need to buy cement, just to say any example, because they're gonna fix something for a particular household, and they're gonna get paid in the next 2 or 3 months. So let's provide a very short-term payment plan to the builder that is aligned to the way they're gonna be paid for that project. Different, very different segment than the ones up here. They're very different value proposition. So building materials is for sure a type of vertical within this segment of recurrent supplies. So type of purchase has been I would say a very important definition of the way we're offering our solution to the retailers. And type of purchase allows for a differentiated messaging for or to the retailer. So I'm not gonna read all of them, but let's just take a planned purchase. The difference between a planned purchase and an unexpected purchase in terms of messaging is, in the first one, planned purchase, you came for a mattress, come buy your mattress, but take some pillows as well, higher ticket, buy something bigger. With the installment program, you can buy a bigger ticket. Very interesting. Whereas in the unexpected purchase, what we need to ensure is that the merchant or the retailer just solves quickly the problem that person's having. No pain. They don't care too much about what the price is. What they care about is, I need to get over this hurdle. And that customer is just going to thank that merchant so much because they helped them out at a moment where they needed, some type of help. So different value proposition, different communication standard. For example, and I'm just going to jump stuff here. For the example I was giving in tires for productive goods, let's help the merchant remain in contact with that purchaser throughout the use of that product that was bought, so they remember that merchant when it's time to replace the product that was bought. Huge value proposition for recurrence and loyalty. And then the last one, which is recurrent supplies, the type of language that the merchant can use with their end consumer is, I'll just open you up an account. You can use that credit line revolving anytime, every 30, 60, or 90 days, and you can come here, 5 times per month, purchase your stuff, and use up your account. Incredible message in terms of revolving / recurrence and loyalty. So different types of messaging for each type of segment. Now, as we understood each one of these, call it segments, we've defined specific value propositions, and they vary by each type of segment. But what has been tricky, I'm not going to read the value proposition, but what has been tricky is that we have to help the merchant communicate with their consumer. And it turns out, and we're going to talk about a particular, call it case study, where there are some verticals where the different segments are in place. So some verticals have 2 segments, some verticals have all segments in place. So we need to help the merchant in their communication structure for the type of sale that's being made. We've understood how important it is to build modularity into our offering in order for us to really refine and adapt to the type of purchase that's being done, or to the purchaser that's actually purchasing at a particular merchant. Now, we don't need to look at kind of the details around this, and these are just examples of the type of modularity that we have built and that we need to build further. So, in some cases, for some type, so you have the segments here, 5 segments here, and then some of the attributes that we believe are essential to cater to that particular segment, and then we turn them off or we turn them on, depending on the type of purchase that's happening. So, for example, in some cases, in the middle it says support for salesperson. In some cases, we need to provide a lot of content to the salesperson. In other segments, we don't need to provide much content to the salesperson. In some cases on this side, we need to provide a lot of functionality to the end consumer that's taking the loan. In some cases, we don't require functionality for that end consumer. In the far right, in some cases, this is interesting, a consumer is actually a distribution channel for another consumer. So let me explain. A builder that's doing a project for a household can actually become a distributor of a loan, a 24-month loan program for that household if they're fixing their windows or if they're fixing their bathrooms, if it's a high-ticket item. So there's also modularity in who is the distribution channel. And finally, and very important for us in our value proposition, there's also modularity in the type of synchronization that we have with the senior management at the retailers. In some cases, we need to provide a lot of reporting for some type of products, for some segments, in terms of payment behavior, recurrent use. In other cases, the retailer just doesn't care. They just want to sell. So the whole point around this concept of being a specialized provider of point-of-sale finance is really building behind the scenes a deep structure that allows to cater for the type of segment that we deal with. Now, this journey is a difficult journey. We've made a lot of progress in building this modularity, but there's a lot more to do. And this is why we're getting each one of these segments that we are focusing on, and these verticals that we are dealing with, and we're studying them in full detail, interacting with our end client, interacting with the merchant, and building refinement to our value proposition. So, final word. We've been around. It's been 6 years or more that we've been building this value proposition. We have the right allies, group of entities working with us, strong, visible, well recognized in the market, both Fenalco, Referencia, and even Referencia. We seek to work with leading, call it the merchants and leading retailers, top brands in each one of the sectors or each one of the verticals that we deal with. That's the way we're approaching the market. That's how we have already been selected by the top brands and top retailers in Colombia. We have a product offering, Listo, Pago Plazos is a product that has been proven, that has been fixed, that has been refined to a point where we're scaling it to in a very aggressive or at a very aggressive pace. And we've understood that retailing permanently evolves, and that we need to evolve not only by segment and by vertical, but by understanding the trends that are in place. Much of these structures that we have built in place are pretty much ready and able to be omni-channel, not only offline but also online, in the retailers' call it online value proposition, but never forgetting that many of these things are also offline. So there's a combination that we understand is required, and we're refining in order to ensure that at the end of the day we are a strong and proper solution to help the merchant deal with the struggles that they address on a daily basis. We think we have a valuable product offering, and we're ready to scale it up and tell a valuable story and a positive story of how we implement world-class tools in Colombia in our local retailers. So that's it. Thank you very much.